Yo, welcome back to the No Cut Sports Podcast with your host, Now Frazier. And today, we got some things to talk about, but you already know before we even get started, could you please like, comment, and subscribe to always catch these vibes, man? You already know. And also, before we get into what we need to get into, the jersey giveaway winner, right? Never reached out to me, so I'm thinking about doing it this coming weekend. Um, but if you still want to be entered in, I want to make sure I say this. If you still want to be entered in to win, right? Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, right? Make sure that your channel is public as well, because when I did it this last time, I only had like 50, 60, like 70 people, and I got like 200 people now following me. So if you want to be entered into win this free jersey, it got to be Eagles jersey. But if you want to be entered in to win, just subscribe to the channel. This weekend, sometime I'll let y'all know as it get closer to the day. I'm gonna enter your names into a wheel, hit the button. I'm gonna have a video of me showing myself doing it, and we're gonna go from there. I'll reach out to you, and then we'll get you right. So, with that being said, let's get into the topics of what we want to talk about today. But before we also do that too, I forgot. Happy Mother's Day. First and foremost, happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mothers out there. The mothers that are here with us still. Even the mothers that aren't here with us. I know I got some partners, I know I make sure I check on my board too, but my thing is this. It's a lot of people, you know, I feel, I don't want to get too deep, but it's, I know people go through things in life and stuff like that. But if you still have your mother here, man, or your parents in general, reach out. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be on no, buddy if you ain't like that, but, just check on them. My thing is, that's all I'm saying. So if y'all like that. So with that being said, let's get into the topics for today. Um, like I said, it's gonna be more or less of a rant, but since I started this podcast, I've been diving deeper into certain situations, and then also trying to come up with different different topics to talk about, because I know we as content creators have sometimes we do tend to talk about the same things because we all report on the reports that come out. That's always that's some of the information. That's all of the information that we probably do have access to. But with that being said, me myself, I try to dig a little deeper in the mental space, the mental side of it, because I know how I work. I know when somebody tell me, oh, you can't do this or whatever the case may be. I know how my mind get, and it's like I gotta like not at least not prove them wrong, but prove at least myself wrong. You know what I'm saying? That I know that I can do it, regardless how long it takes. So, with that being said, I want to talk about the Eagles coaches, right? And probably the players as well, but more or less on the coaching side, because in my last video I talked about the coaching probably being the defining factor at this point, because they have the talent. It's more or less the coaching side. So with that being said as well, Vic Fangio, I'm gonna start off with, okay? They had the press conferences this week, as you know, or this past week, and some of the things, because they just play in my head, but some of the things I've been thinking about was that Vic Fangio talked about wanting to end his career here. Excuse me, ended his career here as a Philadelphia Eagles head coach. I mean, not a head coach. Excuse me, as a defensive coordinator, right? Or whatever. As I guess I would say as a defensive coordinator. I don't think he has head coaching aspirations anymore at his age, but who knows? But with that being said, my thing is this. Vic Fangio has been in the league for 40 years, right? And if I'm not mistaken, he's only ever been to one Super Bowl, which was in 2013 when they played Baltimore. Y'all remember the lights went out halftime, Beyonce had performed, it got a little, got a little spooky for a second. So, if I'm not mistaken, that was the only Super Bowl that Vic Fangio has been to. Now, I know I keep saying this. Me saying that, don't you think in the back of somebody's mind, at the back of Vic Fangio's mind, I'm not sitting there saying that it wakes, haunts him at night, but that he would want to be a Super Bowl winning coordinator. He's held in such high regard for his defensive schemes or scheming, that you would think that somebody like that would have multiple Super Bowls or at least one Super Bowl, right? So how he goes out here and he's been wanting Vic, because Vic was there the Super Bowl season. Now Vic spoke a little bit toward this, saying that he didn't really have too much hands on, but he said he did more or less helping out the offense, which also I didn't even talk about that. He said he was helping out the offense see certain things, right? Now, okay? So let's break this down, man. You already know how I get, you know what I'm saying? You know how I get. I gotta connect the dots, right? So my thing is this: when Vic Fangio said that, I'm like, okay, defensive coach helping out the offense, Jalen Hurts. You know, I'm for sure that's what it was. And I'm not sitting there saying Jalen can't, and if he can't, that's okay too. He need help. My thing is, like I say, if you know you struggle with something, go get the help. So Jalen got the help. If Vic Fangio was helping Jalen Hurts see certain things in the coverage, in the defensive coverages that he was going against in 2022, don't you think that was highly effective? Highly effective. And I should have looked at. I should have did it. I should have did a little bit more research because now it's all coming to me. Because I told you it's a low rank. But I would like to see Jalen Hurts' numbers during that time that Vic Fangio was in this building, because he balled out the whole season. And you got to remember, he had Shane Steichen as well. Now Shane Steichen is to me is comparable to Kellen Moore, but on steroids, because Kellen Moore has been doing it longer with the experience. With the experience. You understand, being playing for Boise, dad being a coach, being a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, then making the transition to being a coach, offensive coach, and doing pretty daggone well as the offensive coordinator, right? So don't you think also that Kellen Moore has a point to prove? How close every season did the Dallas Cowboys get? You understand what I'm saying? They had the record, but it's just they couldn't get over the hump, man. That can be a lot of things. It could have been Kellen Moore, could have been a mixture of Dak. You already know how Dak is because we've seen this past year. He couldn't get over the hump. So my thing is, you really can't blame Kellen Moore all like that, but it's not. It's a small sample size without him. But one thing I do know, Kellen Moore has always had, like I said, one of the top offenses in the league. Vic Fangio, same thing. It's always had one of the top defenses in the league. When you give these players, or you give these coaches the right players, excuse me. So, and I even said this on my Facebook. I know y'all don't follow me on Facebook, but my close friends that watch this, they know I had said this. When the draft started, I said Kellen Moore is going to see how a road team drafts. And golly, did he see how a road team drafts, okay? You go get Quinyon Mitchell. You go get Cooper DeJean. You go use your third pick on a crazy upside developmental player that I think really can come, blossom into something, especially with Vic Fangio sitting there picking these players. Because he said that too during his press conference, that he had some input on the players that he was looking for to fit in his scheme. But then and I remember Philly 500 talking about this, or Joey Shakes, but I think it was Joey Shakes. I remember one of them saying, they were like, they didn't want Vic Fangio, and I was on the same boat, and I said, I had to apologize because I thought he was gonna come in here, the Hassan Reddick thing happened. I'm thinking, and I don't want to speak too much on it because I don't know what happened. But my thing is, I'm thinking he wasn't going to taper his scheme or his scheme toward the players and more or less try to just do his thing and not even worry about hitting the proper players and talent. You know what I'm saying? But he's talking about bending the scheme, making sure that, you might see something one week, the next week it might be something different, pulling things from your memory bank. Let's go through all this right now. Let's do the hard stuff now, so when we get toward the middle of the season or the beginning of the season, the end of the season, it get easier. Because now you're just it's just building blocks. You're building on top of, you know what I'm saying? You're building on top of information that you had 14, 15 weeks ago. Now it's week 16, 17. And you might not need to play. You know what I'm saying? You might not have to play a game. You might, or maybe you do, and you don't need it to win because your schedule is so good. Or if you run into a team, you're like, dang, they playing us a different way. They ain't seen this look. We can do this look, or we can do this scheme. You understand what I'm saying? Wasn't that a problem that we had this year? So it's like, and I said this on one of my previous videos, man. Make sure y'all go back and watch them previous videos. And if you like what I'm talking about, please like, comment, and subscribe to always catch this vibe, boy. Because your boy gonna break it down every time I get on this mic, man. That's what I do. That's my thing. That's how my mind works. I gotta break it down. I gotta connect the dots. So my thing is this. Getting back to what I was saying. Howie Roseman went out here and filled it. And everybody was saying that. How are the Eagles going to be able to fill all these holes. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't even think Howie thought he was gonna be able to pull off some of the draft moves that he pulled off, especially with Quinyon and Coupe de Ville. That is crazy. Crazy. Still, even me talking about it, I don't want to get excited. I gotta keep it peak. I don't want to get too excited, but yo, that is crazy because when have the Eagles ever done something like this? And what the last time we done something like this? With this type of talent? Bro, I'm telling you, this team is loaded up. Like, I'm talking about out for vengeance. Assembling an Avengers team, Justice League, whatever one you like. I know my brother would appreciate that one because he a DC lifer. And I'm a Batman fan, but I still watch the Marvel. Don't get me wrong. I will make better movies. I won't lie about that. I'm a realist, see what I'm saying? So, with that being said, he's assembling an Avengers team. I'm talking about from top to bottom, from the coaching to the players. Especially with the offensive coordinators, because these are two, especially with Vic Fangio, he has way more experience doing this than Kellen Moore. But Kellen Moore's been doing this just as long. Not just as long, but 40 years to 6, 7, 8 years is not just as long. But you know what he's been calling plays. You feel what I'm saying? He's been doing it well. Make sure y'all can still hear me, but been doing it well. So it's like, I'm just thinking about if it was me as a man, my greatest accomplishment would be able to live through my purpose. You know what I'm saying? Live out my purpose to that final goal, which would be getting a Super Bowl. I coach because I want to get to the big game and win the Super Bowl, bring the Lombardi home. And I think all these coaches, or both of these coaches, even assistant coaches as well, Clint Hurt, was it Reynolds? I can't remember the cornerback. I can't remember every coach's name, but wide receiver coach, Singleton, running back coach, even to the smaller guys, bro, to the people up in the office, man. It all matters, bro. It all got to go together, because if it's not all flowing, as you heard Gainwell, it was a disconnect. It was more of a connection piece between the players in the upper office. Players weren't talking, and whatever was going on upstairs was affecting the team as well. No cohesion, no flow. My name now, it got to flow. You feel me? That's how I work. Come on, man. It's not rocket science, man. I'm telling y'all. But you go out here, you go get Kellen Moore. I know I'm ranting, man, but you go out here, you go Kellen Moore. Like I said, Kellen Moore is probably and this is no disrespect to Shane Steichen, because I would love to have Shane Steichen back. But if you're asking me, Kellen Moore's offense is a Shane Steichen offense on steroids, bro. When I'm sitting here watching the different highlights and things like that from his previous games, especially with the Cowboys, because that's the biggest sample size I can find. Because but even with the Chargers, Keenan Allen had his best statistical season this year under Kellen Moore, which you see why he went to Chicago and got that deal. He an older wide receiver, no disrespect. I don't like to disrespect nobody. Go get your money, man. But my thing is this: he's an older wide receiver getting the bag, and that's because the offense allowed him to be open and have his best statistical season. Who drew that up? First year, Kellen Moore. So my thing is this: you go out here and go get Kellen Moore, who they said he banged the table for Saquon. They got him Saquon. Then he go get Will Shipley, and then running back Milton. Shout out to Milton too, because he liked my comment too. Shout out to you, my boy. Hopefully we can get you on the show sometime, or in the podcast. But my thing is this: dogs, bro. Them 3 running backs, dogs. Y'all can sit there and say whatever you want. I watched some Kendall Milton. Kendall Milton from Georgia, short. He's a short yard dog. He's good doing that short yardage, right? Will Shipley is kind of like, I don't want to say nobody's like Saquon, but he's a threat. He's a double-edged sword. He can run the ball and he can catch the ball too as well. A lot of things we ain't thinking about is depth behind some of these positions as well. And then I said when I first started this, I'm like, bro, you can have depth, but what kind of depth? Is it good depth or is it bad depth? Because my thing is, if you got a bum, I don't want to call nobody. I ain't talking about the Eagles, but if you got a bum, you got somebody that's not good going in after this player. I'm not saying no names, but if you got somebody that's not as skilled as the player that's coming out as the starter, you got to be careful who you putting in, because it could be barbecue chicken season for him. I'm telling you. That's what I'm trying to say. No disrespecting nobody, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not in the league, bro. I don't want to never disrespect these players. I'm not in the league. I'm just a fan making the podcast. So, but my thing is this: to go out here to go get all these players for Kellen Moore, to go sign most of the players on offense to establish this is the window. This is the Super Bowl window. This is it. Like, come on, ramping it up. Go get the players that we thought that everybody thought. How they gonna replace that? Like I said, Howie probably is still amazed that he pulled this off. But the real work starts now with the coaching. Vic Fangio, you can tell in his press conference he's not going for it. And you've heard that before that he's not going for it. It's going to be competitions at all these positions, and he's really, and in that linebacker position is really like between the line. I ain't gonna lie, linebacker, safety, and corner, because they got problems, not bad problems, but you could say good and bad. But my thing is this: at the linebacker position, you kind of got a problem because if they're running 3-4. He kind of need 4 linebackers. You know what I'm saying? So you need 4 good linebackers, but you need depth behind them. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, well, maybe not for me. Edge. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm saying that right, yeah. So yeah, you need good linebackers. He spoke highly about Zach Baum. I don't know why he named him first, but I'm thinking just like Philly. I got that from Philly 500. I don't ever want to take, that's where I got my idea from. But Philly 500 said, he's like, why is it that he named Zach Baum first? Why is that the first person that pops into his head? You understand what I'm saying? Why is that the first person that pops in his head? He must be standing out. You feel what I'm saying? But like he said, everybody's not an Eagle yet. Nobody's an Eagle yet. The cornerback position. Do you bench your starters, your older starters? You know the Eagles are trying to move on. Darius Slay has come out and said it on one of his recent gaming podcasts, I think they said. But he said he got another year guaranteed money left, and then after that, that's when they don't want to pay that, you know what I'm saying, that high, you know what I mean? That bread, you know? And he's older. Their performance is there, but you see what they just did with Hassan Reddick. You know, you next on the list, maybe. You never know, bro. They are building for the future. You see how he's not trying to re-signing like older players, even though they said Jason Kelsey's been in that facility. They said damn near every day. And I told y'all, he ain't making an announcement yet, but I told y'all he still got the itch. He even said it on his podcast on New Heights. He said, how are we gonna wait till I retire to go out here and go get Saquon? And then he sees the draft, and he's a football player. Don't you think he know what to look for too? He's like, yo, this defense is probably gonna be bananas. He was under Vic Fangio, or he was there when Vic Fangio was there, and he know what he spoke so highly of Jalen Hurts when he was the quarterback during that season. Jason Kelsey did. But if Vic Fangio was helping Jalen Hurts see that defense better, I just made it, and this just came to my mind. But what do you think? What do you think he's going to do this year? This is all hypothetical, but my thing is this: if it all pans out the way it needs to pans out, with Kellen Moore, and then if Vic Fangio can help him, because they always talked about Jalen Hurts going to go see Jonathan Gannon in the office to go talk about the defense. Because maybe that is something he struggles with. There's nothing wrong with that. That's QB1. You feel what I'm saying? That's still big dog. We all struggle with. Nobody's perfect. But at least he's going to go out here and go get that help, like I said. So I think that's going to elevate him, because he got a chip on his shoulder too. Like, bro, I had a bad season. I guess you could say statistically. That's not what we used to, of course, no. But my thing is this. Things be happening. Now, if we can correct these problems, which it seems like we have, and went out here and got 2 offensive coordinators with, because I think, Kellen Moore looks like, if you hear about something, he looks like, the X-Nose guy. Yeah, he know them X and O's though. I'm trying to tell y'all when I'm watching that offense, bro. And y'all go out here, and I'm even thinking about, I don't know how old the average defense was, or defensive player was during that 49ers run with Vic Fangio. But I feel like a lot of those guys were older. But then I watched the second half of that game, man. He turned it up. And they only held him to, they lost, but they held him to a field goal that whole second half. I don't think they even scored. Now, I know this is 10 years, 11 years ago, but my thing is this. It still kind of hold today. I'm like, all right, well, maybe if he had Quinyon Mitchell, maybe if he had Coupe DeVille out there, maybe if he had this, that, and the third, they come home with that trophy. Same thing with the Eagles. Maybe if the defense was a little bit better, I'm not naming nobody. maybe we come home with that trophy. Maybe if we still have Victor, maybe we come home with that trophy. And I don't want to be like, I'm not no disrespect. I ain't trying to be a Dallas fan, live in the past. But my thing is this: a lot of people that have been brought into this organization as of recent have a lot to prove. Players on this team, Jordan Davis, you always hear talks about him. Is he going to get it together with his weight and things like that? And I told y'all, Clint Hurt came in here. I told y'all before he even got here, he going to get Jordan Davis right. But Jordan Davis probably getting himself right because he understands the pressure now. We no longer have those veterans here, bro. We no longer have you. You are the veteran now. No disrespect, but you have to be big dog, bro. You got to be that hungry dog. We know what Jalen Carter going to bring, but even he still, that's baby Cuzzo. Shout out to my boy. But my thing is this: he still got to bring it too as well. That whole line got to bring it. Milton, everybody they got to come. Everybody on both sides of that ball have to bring it. They already talking about how Saquon. I've seen Eagle out talking about Saquon, because he was the captain of when he was with the Giants. Of course, he was probably the best player there. No point intended. But my thing is this: he has it in him to get the rah. So that's another leader you bring in here, another dog that you just brought in here. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. And then the versatility of these players. I've been watching Anaya Smith. I've been watching Johnny Wilson. That's something else that I have heard nobody talk about. What was one of our biggest struggles last year on the offense? Trying to convert on that third, I was going to cuss, that third down, bro. You go out and go get 6'6", 6'7" Johnny Wilson, bro. Now, you got to get some things, you got to clean some things up. But he is a third down machine or a red zone machine, I'm telling you. Especially in the Kellen Moore offense. Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio have a lot. I feel like they think they have a lot to prove still, especially Vic, because Vic time is dwindling down. You know what I'm saying? He's a little younger than my dad, but he's like 65, something like that. His time is dwindling down. He don't know how much more time he got to be doing what he's doing. I feel like some people talk about he wants to end his career here, but he probably just looking at it like, life is life, bro. You can't do this forever. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody like Kellen Moore that's like 30-something. He's a little older than me, 35, 36. He's younger and he's doing it, but he's doing it at a high level. You know what I'm saying? So they both got something to prove where they got to be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? We think we're the best at what we do. Especially, like I said, with Vic Fangio doing this for 40 plus or 40 years, I want to get a Super Bowl. I want to be able to hold that Lombardi up. Howie Roseman, same thing. I went ahead and got y'all the players. I asked y'all what y'all wanted. I got y'all what y'all wanted. I did my job. And Howie probably do other stuff throughout the year because Howie, like I said, he makes plans for if something go wrong and we're going to do this, do that, do this, do that. So my thing is I understand that part of him. But then even we're bringing the cornerback room. I feel like the Isaiah Rodgers was protection because it was a cheap deal. Howie was in that mode, cheap deal. Because we didn't know what was going to happen with our cornerback situation. And then you ended up going into the draft. And like I said, you end up getting two cornerbacks in the first two picks, which are the best two cornerbacks in the draft. It's still crazy, bro. Coop DeVille and Q is crazy, bro. And I know I've been just talking in circles and stuff like that, but I'm just ranting, man. I'm sorry. But if you like what you're hearing, man, please like, comment, and subscribe to catch this vibe, man. Because I know somebody out there watching this. Somebody like what I'm talking about. You feel what I'm saying? So, let me keep it moving, man. I'm just, we just talking now. So, like I said, I feel like these Howie understood that. He understood that he had to go out here, go get people that had, some things to prove, but also go get the experience as well when it came to that coaching. That coaching experience was really going to set us apart because my thing is this. I think the talent is what got us to 10 games or 11 game wins. Not purely, but mostly. I give it about 75 to 80%. I mean, not too much can go wrong on the field with Jalen Hurts. You know what I'm saying? Dallas. You know what I mean? At least on the offensive side, it was more or less about, the defense. But the play calling wasn't creative enough on the offensive side or the defensive side. And then whatever was going on in the locker room, we still have yet to hear about that. But it is what it is. I don't want to, I'm not trying to dig up, no. You know what I'm saying? That's not me. I ain't gonna do all that. I wasn't there. I couldn't tell you what happened. But one thing I can say is it did look like something was going on in that locker room. That's the best I can give you. That's the best thing I can say. And like I said, you're a King G come out and say people wasn't talking in the locker room, so maybe I was right. But I can't give you no specifics. That ain't even me. Ain't none of my business. My thing is this: I just hope that these guys understand now that the people that are in the building and the people that they brought into the building they all have this, the common goal, the same common goal is to win a championship and win multiple championships. Especially with, like I said, you go out here and you go sign all them players on offense, man. You trying to make a run for sure. You invested into your offense because you wanted it to be high powered. Period. High powered offense, bro. And that's exactly what he got. Go out here with a Nye Smith. I've been watching, bro. I'm telling y'all, a Nye Smith, if he ain't wide receiver 3, I don't. Johnny Wilson, yeah, or my boy Johnny Walker, whatever name you want to call him. You feel me? But yo, like that, like Anais is like that, and then they had him. People, and I keep trying to tell people, if you go back, because Trevor Lawrence was still playing in college, so this had to be a few years ago. But they were lining Anais Smith up as a running back. And even he run like a Saquon. So I'm like, bro, the Eagles are like, how he said this. He says sometimes you gotta take risk. You gotta take risk. You might not get the reward, but he said if you do, whoo, you're hitting big. And I said this before, I wouldn't be surprised if I see an offensive player play defense or vice versa. I wouldn't be surprised, bro. Wouldn't be surprised. Honestly. I see a Nye Smith. And not that I'm saying a Nye Smith will play defense or offense. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised, bro. Or they just move a Nye Smith to a running back. Just for, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case is. Because you can use him like that. Like I'm sitting there watching plays. This man he's running behind the Eagles O-line. You give him a nice size hole pause, he going up it. I'm drawing. My fault. He going through that joint. Pause. And then he's hard to take down. That's another running back / wide receiver, and he can go catch. Like, bro, that's like another running. Bro, it's like a Will Shipley or another Saquon. People not seeing it, bro. People not seeing it. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it, bro. The more and more I keep diving into this, I'm like, what in the how did they? But I'm glad they did. I'm glad they did figure all this out. I'm glad they did go ahead with the players that they got and the coaches that they got, because I need that accountability aspect, man. I need the accountability. I felt like last year it wasn't enough accountability. And when I heard Vic at his press conference, he sounded like he gonna hold everybody accountable that he need to hold accountable. I like old people because old people don't give a you know what. They're gonna tell you what they feel and how they feel, and they ain't gonna care how you feel about it. You feel what I'm saying? So Vic Fangio, like he said, I don't want to get too much into what I was talking about in my last video, but he had said too many hands in the cookie jar when it came to that play calling. Do you think they're going to do that this year? I think not. I think Kellen Moore and I think Vic Fangio have the control. I think Nick's, no disrespect to Nick, I think Nick is the mediator or the culture setter for this team, and I have no problem with it because I love seeing his passing out there on that sideline. Everybody ain't good at everything. If we can designate, people's roles the way we need to and everybody follows suit, that's how business is ran. Or run, excuse me. Everybody has a set job. Everybody got a certain thing that they need to do. But they got to do it to their best ability for us to meet these quotas. Or meet these goals. I know your boy own a business, so I know a little bit about this. You feel what I'm saying? So my thing is this. I feel like that's how they're doing it. And then even with the surplus of talent that they brought into this building, I feel like Howie's going to maybe find a way, like if you do keep some players, because you can keep a lot of these younger players are decent. Maybe you might be able to make a trade or package some players up for something. Maybe throughout, by the next trade deadline, whatever the case is. Who knows? But it's going to be a lot of competition with a lot of great talent on this team. But like I said, it's going to come down to the coaching, and I think the coaches, I really do feel like, and I know what I had said before, because I know Kellen Moore coming from the Cowboys, that rubbed me the wrong way. I ain't going to lie to y'all. And then Vic Fangio, I'm like, I don't know, and it's not nothing to do with his defense. It is to do with his defense, but I was just looking for somebody that was going to blitz a little bit more, because that's what I'm used to. But sometimes you got to be, you know what I'm saying? You got to see from all sides of the table. So that's what I'm trying to do when I'm with this situation. And I do like what I'm seeing. I'm not going to lie. If they can pull it off. And I think they will. So with that being said, man, it's your boy Now from the No Cut Sports Podcast. I really do appreciate everybody that's been watching my videos. Also, once again, happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mothers out there. It never goes unnoticed. We love y'all. I love you, Mom. I want to make sure I tell you that I love you too, Dad. But I love you, Mom. You know what I'm saying? Because it's Mother's Day. Dad, your month next month. I'll make you a nice little video as well. But if you also want to be entered in to the Eagles jersey giveaway, I'm going to be doing the next drawing this coming weekend. Please make your channel public. And all you need to do is subscribe to the channel. So like I said, with that being said, man, it's not from No Cut Sports Podcast, and I'ma holla at y'all. Be safe.